Hello student. In previous lecture we studied about the 8255 and in this lecture we will cover the internal architecture and the pin diagram of 8255. Now this is the internal architecture of 8255. As I told you in the previous lecture that the 8255 has two group control, group A and the group B, and we have the three ports, port A, port B and the port C, which is divided into the two parts, port C upper and the port C lower. Each port is of 8 bit and having the 8 lines. PA0 to PA7 represent the port A lines. Port B lines are PB0 to PB7, and similarly we have the lines for the port C. These are the internal buses. And another, we have the data bus buffer that is of the 8 bit, which is connected to the system data lines. And we have the another component that is your read write control logic, and various inputs are here which are connected to this read write control logic. These inputs are provided by the microprocessor. So we are going to study in detail about each component and the different signals which are available in 8255. Now in 8255 the total number of lines are 24 that can be used as input and the output lines. The number of ports, as we have studied already, that there are three ports A, B, C, and each is of 8 lines. So why do we require these ports? These ports are required to function independently either as the input or as the output port. And the functional configuration of each port is programmed by the system software. In the last lecture, I told you about that this 8255 is programmable input output port simply because we need to do the programming of the control word. So this can be done by programming the bit, that is the control word of the internal register 8255, and that register is called as the control word register. So we do the programming of this control word. Due to this reason, 8255 is also called as programmable peripheral interface. The number of the control groups are 2, A and B, with 12 lines each, or we can either have 3 groups with 8 lines each. 8 cross 3, total 24 lines. And if we have the 2 groups, then again 12 multiplied by 2, 24 lines. This control word which gets stored in the control word register actually decides which group will be active, whether it is group A and the group B. So it is outfitted or configured by the microprocessor or the CPU, and so that it can configure the associated port of each of the two groups. As I told you earlier, that this group A contains the port C, which is of 8 bit, whose representation is PA0 to PA7. Along with this port A, it contains the upper lines of the port C. Therefore, it is called as 4 bit, whose representation is PC4 to PC7. Whereas in the case of group P, it contains port P, which is again of 8 bit, and the port C lower, which is of 4 bit, and representation is PC0 to PC3. Now moving on to the next part, this is the another component of 8255, that is the data bus control buffer. It is the 8 bit buffer and it is controlled by the read write control logic. It is bidirectional and tri-stated buffer. Tri-stated buffer means, as you can notice in this diagram, there is one input signal, that is the chip select. It is the active low signal, and if this signal will have, if it goes low, then only this particular chip 8255 will be enabled and it will perform its functioning, that is the exchange of the data between the microprocessor and the peripheral devices. And if this particular input goes high, then it disables the 8255. So sometimes what happens, if that chip select input goes high, then this data bus control buffer enters into the tri-state, which indicates that the high impedance state means it will not have any significance, though it will have the data with it, but it will not transfer that data onto the ports through the buses. So it is used to interface the 8255 internal data bus and with the external system data bus. It, it is responsible for receiving and transmitting the data upon the execution of input and the output instruction by the microprocessor. In the previous lecture, I told you that programming needs to be done for this 8255 with the help of the software which contains the program, and within that program we write certain input and the output instruction through which we can perform the read and the write operation so that the data exchange can take place between the microprocessor and the peripheral devices. It is also responsible for transferring the control word and the status information, the control word which gets stored in the control word register. Moving on to the next component, that is read-write control logic. This particular component is responsible for managing all the internal operation of the 8255. It controls the transfer of the data and the control word. I've used the two terms here, the data and the control word. Data is that data that needs to be exchanged between the microprocessor and the peripheral devices, whereas the control word contains that information that will responsible for performing the internal operation, like whether the read operation will be performed, write operation will be performed, whether which port will be used as the input and the output, and which mode is active. That we will see later on in the next lecture when we will discuss about the different operating modes supported by the 8255. So this read and write control logic, it accepts the input from the CPU, it controls the buses and gives the command to both the control group A and B. Okay. So we have the chip select line. This chip select line is the active low and it is responsible for maintaining the communication between 8255 and CPU. If this chip is low, then only the 8255 will be enabled. And if its values goes high, then it disable the 8255. Then the communication cannot be maintained between the microprocessor and the peripheral device. So let's discuss about the various input provided by the microprocessor to 8255. The first one is the active low read signal. If this signal goes low, then only the read operation will be performed. Means we read the data from the ports and put it on the bus. Another active low write signal that is responsible for performing the write operation, in which we write the data onto the port. We have the reset. This reset signal is active high and it basically reset the control word register, means it clears the content of the control word register, and after the reset all the ports will behave like the input ports. Another lines are the address line. These are A0 and the A1. These are used for selecting the ports. As we can look into this table, it depends on the input combination of A0 and A1 on the basis of which the different ports are selected. Like if the A0 value is 0 and A1 value is also 0, then the port A will be selected. If A0 is 0 and A1 is 1, then port B will be selected. Similarly, if both the value are 1, then the control register will be selected. Means the data which is stored in the control word register, which is your control word, that needs to be either read or write. Let's have a look on the pin diagram of 8255. The total number of pins in 8255 are 40. For port A, this is PA0 to PA3. They are connected to the pin number 4 to 1, and the remaining lines of the port A are connected at pin number 40 to pin number 37. For port C, we have the 8 lines again. The port B0 is connected at pin number 18 up to the pin number 25. For port C, the port C lines are connected at pin number 14 to pin number 17 and then 10 to 13. And We had already discussed about the input by the microprocessor to the 8255. Like we have the active low read signal, which is available at pin number 5, active low write signal, which is available at pin number 36, the chip select input at pin 6, reset at pin 35, and some of the address line which are used to select the ports, port A, B, and C, and the control word register. Next, we have the ground and the VCC. Obviously, we are having the interfacing device, so power needs to be provided. So we provide the plus 5 volt power supply to this interfacing devices, and for the safety purpose, we require the ground signal, which is available at the pin number 7, and VCC is available at the pin number 26. Next, we have the data bus line, which were connected to the data bus buffer. These are 18 number. So they are represented with this D0 to D7 and available at pin number 34 to 27. Let's discuss this pin in detail. We have the pin number for port A. The pin numbers are 1 to 4 and 37 to 40. The port A is the 8-bit port, so 8 lines would be there with the representation PA0 to PA7. These lines act as either latched output and the buffer input lines. So two terms we are using here: latched output. Latched output means whatever the last data we held, we can hold that data. We can basically store that data. And buffer input lines is basically those lines which contains the data to read. So all the port, whether it is port A, B, C, they can be used as the latched output and the buffer input lines, and it depends on the control word that is loaded into the control word register. Similarly, we have the port B. It is also of 8 line, having the pin number 18 to 25. It is also act as the either latched output and the buffer input output lines. Again, we have the port C, which is of 8 lines, having the representation PC4 to PC7 that represent upper nibble of the port C, that is used for the generation of handshake line in mode 1 and mode 2. These are the different operating modes of 8255 that we will cover in the next lecture. And we have the port C lower lines representation PC0 to PC3. These lines are also used as the latched output and the buffer input lines. Now let's discuss about the inputs by the microprocessor uh, to the 8255. As I have told you earlier, we have the active low signals, read and the write, which should be low to perform the read operation and the write operation. We have the reset that should be high, and reset basically clears the content of the control word register of 8255, and after reset to signal, all the ports A, B, C, they act as the input ports by default. We have the address lines which are used to select the particular port and the control word register. This address line along with the input signal like the active low, read and write, and the chip select, they perform the various operations for 8255. So we can say that these address lines are used for addressing any of the four register. Any of the four register means one control word register that holds the control word, which is of 8-bit, for which we do the programming, and that's why this 8255 is called programmable input output ports, and the three ports which are A, B and C. We have the chip select input. As I told you earlier, if it goes low, then only the 8255 will be enabled and it will perform the basic operation like the read and the write. Otherwise if it goes high, then it disable this particular chip. Now let's have a look on these functional table. See, if we have to enable this 8255, then it's quite obvious this chip select input should be low. So in both the table, this is for the read operation, this particular table, and this particular one is for the write operation. In both the table, if we have to perform read and write operation, so we have to enable this 8255. That can be done only when the value of this chip select input is 0. it means 8255 is enabled. And if we are making the active low read signal uh, 0 value, then it indicates that the read operation will be performed. So if read operation is performed, then in that case the write operation will be disabled. So for that we have plotted the one value. And these are the address line input combination. If 00 is there, then port A will be used, 01 port B, 10 port C, and for 11 control word register. Now you can notice the direction of the data, like as it is the we are performing the read operation over here. So it means the data from the port A, means multiple port, means from right hand side the data will be now, or you can say the peripheral devices, the data will be transferred onto the port, and from port onto the data bus, and then it will pass onto the data bus buffer, and with the help of data line it will be transferred to the microprocessor. And for the write operation, the direction of flow of data will be opposite. Like from microprocessor, the data will be put on data lines, and from there it will be put on the data bus buffer. Data bus buffer, depending upon the signal that is provided by the input signals and the read and write logic component, it will pass that data onto the internal data bus, and from that internal data bus the ports will have the data, and accordingly it will pass on to the peripheral devices that are connected to the microprocessor. So if you are performing the write operation, then in that case the signal, this write signal should go low and read signal should be high. So it means that we are performing the write operation only, and the value of this chip select is again low, because we have to enable this 8255 so that write operation can be performed. We have the combination of A naught and even the same notations, means port A, B, C and control word register would be selected. But though we are performing the write operation, so data will be written from the data bus, means now the data is coming from the microprocessor and it will be written onto the port A, B, C and control word register. Now let's have a look on the third table, that is your in this table you can notice the chip select. Here the chip select input signal is having the value 1, which indicates that it is active high. If it is active high, means 8255 will be disabled, and we will have the don't care condition at the other input, which indicates we can either have 1 and 0. It will not hold any significance, means it will not perform any operation. And under those conditions, the data bus buffer will enter into the tri-stated, because it will enter into the high impedance state. It means that it will have the data, but it will not transfer the data further onto the buses. Okay. And if this chip select is active low, means here we are enabling the 8255, but we are performing the both the operation. In that case also the data bus buffer will enter into the tri-state, means high impedance state, and it will not transfer the data, though it will have the data with it. Now the next is the ground and the VCC. The VCC is the power supply. For 8255 we require the plus 5 volt, and the ground is required for provide for the safety purpose. We have the data bus line that are D0 to D7, and these are the 8-bit lines, and these lines they carry the data, or you can say the control word, to and from the microprocessor. So in the next lecture, we will discuss the different operating modes of the 8255. Thank you.